Hey, what is going on? Happy Memorial Day. My name's Carlo.
I'm Lucas.
Jasmine.
I'm Nick. I'm sorry, Lucas has hat on his head.
Well, in any case, because it's Memorial Day, Lucas is the one that chose our beer.
Mm-hmm.
Because I don't know if Memorial Day had anything to do with it.
But either way.
But today I picked for us 805 specifically in a can because it's the can in black.
Clever man.
Nothing. It's a can of nothing.
I was trying to think of a joke with about his daughter can.
I like 805. I don't know about you, but I like 805.
It's
not
good.
bad at all.
I like it.
What I'm noticing is a lot more bars around here are starting to pick up 805.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Well, it's close.
All right,
It's
good
close
point.
to the actual city that brews it, so.
There you go.
This is our first episode with 4 reviewers. We did not do this on purpose, but I'm very proud that we are showing our patriotic spirit by doing red, white, and blue for Memorial Day.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
I mean, okay, so into the episode. How big is this damn world?
I want to say that it's Australia.
I mean,
Mount Fuji's in Australia there, Jess?
They made it. I don't know.
the whole point of this was the fact that there's a damn mountain with snow on top of mesas and large, vast...
I'm sorry, what was that word?
Mesas?
Mesa?
Mesa, thank you. And with like Japanese forests and everything. Like, how big is Westworld? Where on earth is this park?
Okay, well, I do want to say, I mean, jokingly I said it was Australia, but I mean, it could be Australia. But there was a theory that was going online, like, since season 1, saying that Westworld was actually a miniaturized, like, location where people get zapped down to, like, little size in order to access. Have you heard that
so
before?
now there's shrinking technology in Westworld.
Hey, that was a theory that was online. I'm just posting it.
I'd like to point out that since you punned, we lost a follower. Mary Poopin says he's going home. Also, this hat is bothering me to no end. I'm moving it. It looks like Lucas his head is getting sucked into something black. Put it back on the table.
Okay, and question number 2 is, in the master control room, they also mentioned that they were able to get climate control running again. Was that climate control specifically for the interior areas or for the whole park?
I think it's for the central hub. Otherwise, she wouldn't have made a comment like, "Oh, nice priorities." Climate control meaning like, "Oh, they got the AC back on."
Okay.
So that's why she was a little upset. But yeah,
They had to
I think,
air out
I
the
think
Mesa.
climate control is literally
All the dead
air
bodies
conditioner.
and fluids everywhere.
That's true.
So overall, what do you guys think of the episode?
I thought this was the first episode where we saw just about every character, and it felt like, okay, back half of the season, starts moving faster.
This was definitely a zap to the chest for this season. Everything's going like full steam ahead now. Like,
And it feels like we're just about at that 11 days now.
Yeah, I feel like all the timelines are like finally kind of coming together.
Like, it's not exactly there because clearly Bernard is still here. But I would like to point out, with the whole Bernard thing, where is it? His mind has been sucked out. He's a shell. Anybody could be put in there.
Yeah,
And Dolores is seriously going to the Mesa right now.
It goes back to my Teddy is Bernard theory
With
that
evil
I read
Teddy.
oh.
Also, you know who else is now connected to the shell body? Is Mr. Ford.
Ford's it? Yeah.
Yes.
Because we haven't discussed that particular theory, but what if Ford puts himself in that body?
Oh, I feel like we're not there yet. Oh, but okay, we could discuss it now.
But like, the way I recall those first episodes and Bernard doing his shaky thing, I think he was still pretty. Actually, he didn't talk much, did he? There wasn't a lot of character out of him.
Not really.
During
No.
those moments. So yeah, it could still be anybody. Hard to tell who.
Our commenters are asking if the mountain could be an illusion, which something I thought about as well. What if it's just like a pretty backdrop to Shogun World?
I thought
Kind of like
about
at
that.
Disneyland when you go to Cars World and it's just like, oh, look at this awesome mountain, and then it's all perspective, and then when you see it, it's just like this cardboard cutout.
I thought about that too, but like you mentioned before, I feel like Westworld is they pay attention to detail. Or just like that whole area, like they pay attention to detail. So they're not gonna like fall short and make all these intricacies and like their hosts and then have like an illusion for a backdrop.
But to build a mountain.
That's important. I mean, like, when you think of Japan and what it has to offer naturally, that's probably the most important natural feature of Japan. And how much of a cultural impact that mountain had to feudal Japan.
I mean,
It's important. That's like the only, like, the way that Westworld has those huge, like, what are those are called mesas too, right? Those like large.
Well, that's what I'm
plateau
thinking.
things.
Could this mountain, could this be like the Mesa of Shogun World?
Possibly.
Oh.
Possibly. Well, we'll never find out because right after that scene, they went back into Westworld, which you even made a comment. How long did they travel?
Yeah, I felt like
Because the way I see it is this way. It's one of those things where they had to build these areas together because if they're all walking distance from each other, there's no area where you'll have this nice Mount Fuji type mountain right next to a desert. And then right next to like India.
yeah, that's.
I'd
I'm
also
so
like to point out
confused.
that it's big, but it's not that big because Maeve and company are not hopping on any trains.
No, they're walking.
They're walking.
They're not
there's
even using horses.
They're all underground tunnels connecting these things that potentially like have shortcuts and ways to make it quicker to get there. But they're still walking everywhere.
And apparently they have time enough to take a shower and change. I'm just saying.
Back into his ridiculous outfit.
In Lee Sizemore's ridiculous outfit as a stable boy.
Where is that picture? I have one where I was just like, what the hell? There it is. Why is it
Yes.
that Lee has to stay in the stupid outfit, but even Sylvester gets a cooler outfit? I mean, Felix, she likes Felix, but Sylvester's even in a cooler outfit.
That's true. Maybe that's the only thing in his size.
I think Felix looks better. Sylvester looks like he's in a bad Han Solo cosplay.
Wow.
I hate Sylvester.
He had a chance to actually like escape, yet the Asian dude Lee,
No,
Felix.
at the very end when
Oh, when Lee starts calling for help?
Yeah.
But we don't know necessarily that Lee is trying to escape. It's almost like Lee is saying, screw this, I'm tired of being shot at. I am calling for help. Not to help me escape. I'm calling, I mean, in a way, yeah, but he's also saying, calling someone to get them here to get this whole group and bring them to the Mesa.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm confused because they've had multiple times to get away from Maeve. Multiple times.
But it goes back to how dangerous it is in Westworld.
Well, when they were in feudal Japan, they jumped into the tunnel right before everyone else did. They were still burning that heart, and they could have escaped then. They were in the tunnel, safe as they can be.
I don't know. I think that they recognize that Maeve's their best bet of survival right now,
That's what I agree.
considering what she can do now.
Mm-hmm.
Like I just think they
I wanna
put
be on
all
her
their
side.
chips in Maeve's basket.
And we've also kind of talked about Maeve and Lee are getting kind of relationship going on. May not be a romantic thing, but he in some ways kind of respects her and still kind of understands that she's my best chance until I know that QA or Delos reinforcements are here.
Yeah.
So he may have a walkie-talkie, but until he hears back from someone, it's like, this is still my best chance.
Mm-hmm.
And then she is grateful to him because it's like, you got me here. You're useful in some ways.
Yeah.
So it's this kind of like, they're going to stab each other in the back, but for the moment, they still need each other. Once he has human reinforcements, she's screwed. Once she realizes, well, you did everything that I needed from you.
Which is already now. At this point, that's...
True, and that's potentially why he's just like, screw it, gotta call him now. Even if she survives the Ghost Nation attack, I'm in trouble.
Which, did you guys catch that?
Which part of it?
Where he was saying like, hey, you should come with us, we're on the same path right now.
Actually, that's part of this clip, is he specifically says that exact same thing, like, we're on the same path.
Mm-hmm. Like, he didn't go there to kill them, he came there to collect them. And she's like, nah, fuck you.
I mean, what's that path, though?
That's what I want to know.
Well, what is it, Emily? Somebody said that Ghost Nation is protecting the humans.
That's what I believe.
Is there a chance that either Ghost Nation is misreading Maeve's intentions because she's got a bunch of humans with her, and they're like, "Oh, you're like us. You're a protector of humans," or is it that maybe she doesn't realize her place right now, and that this is actually her place in Ford's new story is, I'm trying to save my daughter, but really it's all an excuse for, I'm walking around the park collecting humans and protecting them. Because none of the humans that have come under her care have died.
Versus Dolores, which is Teddy's a badass at this point, and I think Dolores is starting to realize that she may have just created a damn monster.
Yeah.
Yeah.
This whole craziness here.
Hey, thanks for following.
Yeah.
This was, even she was like, oh shit.
Well, because she was not expecting that. He just walked up, said one line, popped the shot, and don't worry about it. We'll find it regardless. We don't need him, basically.
It's tough to read Dolores' face because I feel like she's kind of got a fear boner for Teddy right now. She's like, oh shit, I like this, but fuck. You know what I mean?
Well, now I'm wondering, does she need to reprogram him again? Because it's almost like she's looking at him like, oh crap, now there's somebody even more ruthless than I am.
Yes.
Am I going to have to fucking kill this guy because he's going to try to take over because I'm too soft?
But see, the problem is, though, will she even have that opportunity? Because they ranked up all his traits, so he might even foresee that coming.
See, I was reading something online where it was saying how, with Teddy being how he is now, ruthless and everything, does that seal Dolores' fate as Wyatt? Because originally Teddy was trying to destroy Wyatt or trying to kill Wyatt, or
Brought out the Dolores in her.
Yeah. So is this kind of sealing her fate, and are they gonna eventually fight each other?
Possibly, but that train though.
What about the train that it
Blew up
the doors to the Mesa? I was expecting a bigger explosion myself. I was hoping it was going to be
that whole thing.
It was just a little fire
It
thing,
was just
and then
to get in.
But all they have
oh.
is dynamite. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
how many episodes are left
TNT.
in the season?
There's 7, 8, 9, 10. So 4 episodes left after tonight.
No, 3. I thought this is 6. Oh, I can't count. Clearly it's 4. Carry on.
Drink your beer.
Yeah, we'll do. Shut up.
And
Oh, gummy bears!
there it is.
Oh my god. So they're not there yet. Although they're right here. I'm gonna save them. Oh, gummy bears! God damn it! Alright.
Well, my turn.
I mean, they're in the Mesa, not clearly, but they're going for Peter Abernathy, who had a really messed up episode with the stuff that happened to him.
Yeah, even Stubbs felt bad for him.
I was kind of weirded out about the use of a nail gun.
Was it
Well,
very Jesus-esque?
No.
I mean, okay, so that's a little too much. I mean, they even said is that really necessary? But at the end of the day, it's
I was
Peter
this is I'm like, okay, are they doing this for TV? Because they say it's unnecessary, but it you're supposed to have complete control over these things. But she did preface it by I don't mess with his mind. But how does that not? Can't you still just be stop all motor functions?
But that doesn't work anymore. It doesn't stop the motor function doesn't work on anybody.
This was a lot better than I thought what they were going to do. I thought he was going to chop off his legs.
That's what I thought too. Make sure he can't run. I'm like,
permanently.
Well,
get rid of the legs.
When he picked it up, I didn't think it was a nail gun. I thought it was a saw.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, that was another thing too. The violence in this show just keeps going up.
What do you guys think? Do you guys think that it was necessary for them to nail him to the damn table?
Now, wait a minute. If we're going to talk about violence in the episode...
Yeah, let's do it!
Can we talk about my favorite part of the episode? Because my favorite character is Musashi.
Yes. Are you happy now, Carlo? Are you happy?
I loved the battle. I loved everything about it.
I love how it was based on honor. Maeve didn't butt her head in.
Mm-hmm.
And then he disarms him.
Literally. Yes, we know.
Yeah, that's happening.
Damn you.
I'd also like to point out that... Is this the literal definition of fighting dirty?
We're really gonna lose Mary Poopin.
To be fair, at least they didn't do the typical Hollywood trope of him being blind the rest of the fight.
Yeah, I know. At the end, Musashi came out ahead.
Wow! Oh my! Were you preparing for this?
Oh, I prepped all my puns this week.
Wow, that's amazing. Damn. Wow. All right.
I liked
Good.
at the end of that fight that he didn't let that guy have his honorable death because he killed himself, but he still chopped his head off.
Yeah.
So he technically didn't die from his own hand still.
Well,
So
plus-
I thought that was cool, and you know, with like Musashi thinking about or that's just like the way Musashi thinks about this guy.
Well, I also thought it was
You don't
interesting,
deserve that.
this Westworld, a host that gets stabbed can easily be brought back.
Yeah, I thought that
A
was
host whose head gets chopped off, it's a little harder to bring back. It can still be brought back.
Yeah, I'm still like curious as to how much do the Shogun people like know about what's going on.
I don't think they know anything, but it's still like they're making sure that Tanaka's out.
Yeah.
Like writing wise. It's not the characters making that decision, it's the writers of the show.
Oh, I see.
But why?
Yeah, man, and the
Mary Poopin says the puns hurt.
Akane chopping out Sakura's heart.
That was extreme.
I was like, what?
You wanted her to eat the
I
whole
Yeah.
thought
That's
she was
what you
gonna
said.
eat it. It's a very zombie-ish season. Bernard's eating brains. Akane eating
They
the heart
even
is not.
where and you notice when they popped out to go back to Maeve's house, they came out of a grave.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
Ooh, that was
I
good
like.
too.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. You're right.
But she's looking at that heart like,
Well, okay. I'm not versed on Japanese culture, but what's the
I don't know. That's the other thing.
Harikari, that thing?
That's the
Where
killing.
you kill yourself?
no
With the heart.
With the heart?
Oh, I don't know about I don't know about
burn the heart?
thing.
I mean, it was a nice little scene, but I was sad too that it was like, all right, goodbye, Akane, goodbye, Musashi.
I know, I
wanted
liked
well,
that.
they did bring.
No, wait.
the
That's
other
not
girl.
Akane?
That's Akane.
Oh, okay. Oh, as in
Sakura.
goodbye as in, because they left him behind.
It's like they.
We'll see him again. I'm pretty
will.
sure we'll see him again.
I'm hoping they get their own spin-off.
Wow.
But it was just like, yeah, see you later. But don't worry, we're gonna take the cool archer chick with us.
I
Yeah.
wouldn't mind watching a whole season.
She's hot.
Literally a whole brand new spin-off, even if there's no English whatsoever.
Shogun World.
Of just Shogun World. The action scenes in Shogun World beats anything in Westworld.
Yeah, that's true. It's pretty good. I really like that fight scene.
Well, the reason why is because, I mean, you're talking about distance of gun shooting, hiding
Yeah.
behind rocks, versus a sword fight. Like, that's pure action, face to face.
Unless you're shooting with bows and arrows.
All the men are terrible shots.
Because now
in the
that
show.
she's in the Old West,
Yeah, I didn't expect her. Where did they get her clothing?
same
I
place
don't
they
know.
got Felix and Sylvester's
I
clothing.
guess.
Down the garbage chute.
I
with
think
all the
I
bodies.
think that walk was a lot longer than they let on, and for the sake of pacing, they were like, let's just
yeah,
get him there.
I agree with that.
Well, we also don't know how long or what timetable we're in. We're still jumping back and forth.
Right, so that's why it makes it okay for them to just get them there. Like,
Yeah.
let's not discuss it, how far exactly this walk was or how long it took them. Just get them there.
I mean,
which
so-
you know what, I'm okay with this. The season's already been too slow at the beginning as it is.
I mean, so far we haven't seen any of them, like, go to sleep.
Yeah.
No. Right after the Man in Black Emily campfire,
Oh, well,
she clearly goes to sleep, and she's a heavy sleeper.
no, but Maeve and her group, they've never slept.
I thought they were going to sleep when they got attacked by the ninjas.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, you're right.
But
So-
the whole Man in Black Emily parts,
Your thoughts on that?
I was a little like, well, there goes Emily. Well, now they're just messing with us. Like, well, Men in Black's going to call her a host.
Yeah.
So what do you think now?
I
But
know.
then we're going to have him misremember something from his past. So maybe he's a host.
I
Maybe
thought-
neither of them.
Right? I don't know at this point.
So now that particular conversation brought up with me, like, so the Man in Black could be a host. We're back to Man in Black could be a host. Or we're kind of really finding out his motives for this whole thing.
Mm-hmm.
And the fact that he's kind of written his wife out of his own memory, like maybe he did something
Mm-hmm.
to write his wife out of his memory because he feels so guilty for her committing
Interesting.
suicide because of him.
So now they have the ability to like change the memories.
Yeah, I mean, like, if you're already working on copying human consciousness, there's nothing to say that you can't make a copy, plug something out. You know? So maybe that's what he did, because every time he brought up his wife, he had this weird look on his face like it's not computing. Not that I can't remember, it's like I don't even know what you're talking about kind of look. So
I don't think he is. I don't think he's a host. Say it.
Well, no, because it's an interesting point that Lucas brings up, because in the beginning of the scene with Arnold or Bernard and Dolores, he was like restating whatever, and she's like, no, that's not right. You're supposed to say it like this. So fidelity, exactly, which is very...
How true are you to the original mind that you're based on?
Mm-hmm. Which that's why I thought it brought it in my mind when you said that.
This was a scene, though, that we all gasped when we saw it.
Because to see her talking to him and be like, no, like, stop all motor functions, and like talking down to him was like, oh shit, when does this take place? But this also brings me to a point that I brought up to you guys after the fact, which I'm going to talk about now. I don't know if anybody else has realized this.
Yay!
Thank you.
Thanks, Forza fan.
What, we got another person?
Yeah, we got another follower on Twitch.
Sweet. Oh wait, where is it? Damn it! Regardless, I'm going to go to the...
Are you talking about the widescreens?
Yes.
Yeah, the widescreens.
What I discovered, this is a shot of the Dolores Bernard interview from the first episode of season 2. And if you look, it is widescreen, meaning that there is extra black at the top and the bottom. When Bernard goes into the cradle, his mind goes into the cradle in this episode, everything that we see from his point of view is now widescreen.
That is very true.
Yeah.
And this scene at the beginning with him talking to Dolores is also widescreen. So that makes me think that everything between Bernard and Dolores that we've seen this season is something inside of the cradle where their minds are communicating.
And you even mentioned, did they do that in earlier episodes?
Yeah, that's what I just showed. Is in episode 1, the Dolores Bernard communication is widescreen. So visually, they're cueing us into the fact that this is actually inside the cradle. This is not the quote-unquote real world. This is something that's different. Which I thought was like, oh, shit. So, is there a chance that the Dolores inside the cradle is like a different Dolores? Or is Dolores did she plug her mind in? Maybe we're going to see it next week. She plugs her mind in the same way Bernard did.
Oh, she swaps with Bernard. She does a body swap with Bernard.
Sminkin is asking. Yes, it's Sminkin. We do review other stuff.
Yes. Game of Thrones.
Game of Thrones in the past. We have plans to do more following Westworld.
Yes.
So stay tuned.
Comment on which ones you would like us to do.
Yeah.
Excellent point. We would love to know what people would like to see us review.
Arrowverse. No, I'm just kidding.
It's already done for the season.
I
We'll
know.
need something soon.
I'm just kidding.
Oh, remember when...
Whoa! You spilled all over yourself.
I remember my first beer.
Damn!
I will be back.
This is
Okay.
television, Carlo.
All right, while Carlo is cleaning himself up, let me just say, I want to just... So last week, Lucas has his little Renaissance Fair mug. And I saw that, and I was like, that's really awesome. But I wanted to show mine that I got at the Renaissance Fair.
I guess this is a size challenge.
Mine is bigger. All right, I'm done.
Your mug's
We're not here for mug measuring.
I'm just saying, it's cool. I would,
It's okay. Her mug is uglier than yours.
Damn! Wow, there's so much hate going on right now. It's fine.
Oh, Carla, you all cleaned up?
Yeah, Carla's back. All right.
I mean, if you don't want to drink the beer, Carla, just pour it out. You don't have to throw it on yourself.
Yeah, don't waste it.
I'm never going to hear the end of this.
While we're talking about the cradle,
Yes.
clearly let's talk about the last big what the hell moment of the episode, which is... Where the hell did it go? There it is. Walks in, there's Ford's dog, looks up, who's playing the piano? None other than Anthony
Ford
Hopkins,
himself.
also known as Ford.
I knew it, even when it was like blurry.
I think you're supposed to have the visual cue of the dog being his dog in all the other episodes.
Mm.
Like, so is it, again, is it Ford or is it's the whole metaphysical
It's
you really
for
transfer your
consciousness. This is Johnny Depp in that. What is that movie called? Transcendence.
Oh God.
That terrible movie.
God.
But same thing. He just uploaded his consciousness into the source code basically of Westworld.
So here's my question. So we know because Ford did it.
Chris said, "I want you to hit Lucas with your mug."
Oh yes.
We don't promote violence.
65 feet. I like that. No, but okay. So we know that you can upload your conscious into the cradle, but you cannot download your consciousness into a host.
It's probably because the cradle is so big that it can support it, and it's able to do all the variables and the improvisation, but a host body can't handle that.
So is Ford the one reprogramming these attacks?
Yeah, that's what they're hinting at.
Okay. So just wanted to
We're talking about AI within AI.
Inception AI.
This
Inception
AI.
Wow. Mind blown.
This is deep stuff.
Okay, so it hypothetical. If this was real, would you guys have your consciousness uploaded into the cradle to live forever?
Yes.
Wow.
I don't know.
I think they just did this on Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. like last season.
I did not finish 8. Oh my God, really?
What about you guys?
Really?
That's why you gotta stay current.
Hit a comment.
Damn it.
If it was possible to download your consciousness into some type of system, would you guys do it? We'd like to know.
Alexa did it. Cortana did it.
Siri did it, but her voice got all messed up.
Yeah, I don't know if I want to be in like a system. Like, I guess I'd want something a little bit more.
See, I'd want to be like an
tangible.
inanimate object. I want to be like a shitty lamp.
A shitty lamp.
Yeah.
See, I want to
Like-
see this
That
all
way
the
you
time.
can still get turned on.
I shouldn't have high-fived that. I should leave is what I should do.
Wow.
Segue.
Oh, gummy bears.
Oh my God.
Yeah, gummy bears! Motherfuckers.
For those of you guys who don't know, we picked that clip when?
It was last week
Last
because Jazz
episode,
wasn't here,
yeah.
and we just thought it was hilarious, so now it's just gonna stay.
Good old days.
Wow. Really?
They'd say in a heartbeat. What other parts of the episode did you guys enjoy? That stood out, I would say.
I mean, everything with going into the cradle, I thought was really cool, and the idea of there being this like mind center of the AI of the park that, I don't know, in a way controls the stories, controls the hosts, controls some of the stuff that seems random that they used to be able to input stuff and get help from, and then all of a sudden it went haywire because Ford put himself in there and went crazy. But just the idea of there being, and then the name of the cradle kind of goes back to some of the more biblical, metaphysical aspects of the show. The cradle of life, the cradle of everything is right there. And now Ford and Bernard are in there, and Dolores is on her way.
So when did Ford actually have the time to upload his consciousness? Because he was like in mid-speech. So does that mean that he was a host at that time?
No, 'cause
No.
you got to remember the transfer of consciousness. It's a copy of you. That's why I'm always like, is it really you?
That was what that whole secret base was for. That was his secret project.
So if you believe in something like the soul, even if you copy your mind, it doesn't necessarily mean that your soul would go with it.
Your
that's
data
not really
is just
fun.
there.
Yeah.
Because it, like, let's say for instance you copy it today, but you're still living tomorrow. At a certain point, there's that split where both of you are having two different experiences at that point.
Yeah, because I could have a totally life-changing experience tomorrow and be a totally different person from that copy that was just made.
Yeah.
But then there's
Oh.
also the thought that if you do perish, but there is this piece of you that's still left, does it have a piece of your soul? Could your soul then transfer over there?
This feels like very Harry Potter-ish. I don't know why.
True.
Yeah, that was the whole.
No, I've seen The Matrix.
Yes, someone made a Matrix conference. That's not me.
Mary Poppins.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, that was that whole
Horcrux.
Delos experiment, that failed Delos experiment, right? It was they had his consciousness technically, but it was as if his own that fake brain or his consciousness was like, or the brain was rejecting itself because it had died already. So it's like this. So it's like the soul was saying, "No, you're dead. Like this isn't gonna work."
See, and that's
Because-
the reason why I think in the cradle you can exist without
Right.
it getting corrupted, because there's no physical portion of you to actually get corrupt. If that makes sense. You're in the Matrix in this sense. So,
well, it's also in my mind. Ironically, it's also a matter of the processing power of the cradle is so much greater than just the one host.
Right.
It's interconnected.
Yeah. So it can improvise so much better. It can get to things so much faster. But potentially it just delays the inevitable, and even the forward consciousness that's in there is doomed because we never saw the Delos experiment get to a successful point.
All right, so moving the conversation along.
Wait, Jazz had something to say.
Oh.
I was like, but Ford, I feel, was always ahead of his game when it came to things like this. So it's like, if anyone that can do it right, he would have been able to do so. And I feel like he would have been able to do it before his death.
Yeah.
Like, he would have made sure that shit was going to work.
And that may have been the point of pushing the hosts to a state of consciousness, is that gave him information, that gave him data that built on that work in a way that Delos wasn't looking at the hosts that way.
Yeah.
And that's why they could never get the company could never get the Delos experiment to work, because they weren't looking at hosts becoming sentient.
Correct. I agree.
So the point I was going to make was, or the question actually was, the aspect of the QAs. We've seen, you mentioned what it was, Irish or...
Yeah,
Coughlin that dropped down?
Yeah.
The new guy?
How badass are they? Are they going to get owned by Dolores?
Well, we don't see him 11 days later.
Oh, yeah, that's true. It's totally someone else, not Coughlin.
It's like a whole new Delos team comes in.
Yeah, you're right.
Or are they just another part of the park?
Also true.
So... the question is, what happens to them?
That's why I thought the whole Mesa was gonna So I was like, this is how they kill the first wave of Delos people with the train explosion.
But no, it's just a little poof.
Yeah.
It's a diversion for something, obviously.
I thought it was just to get through the door.
I feel like it's a diversion.
I agree to disagree.
Okay.
What about you guys? What are your favorite parts of the episode? We'd like to know. We'd like to talk about it. Again, don't forget to hit that likes and subscribe button, and again, join us in the chat.
I just random visual moment. I really liked when Bernard and Elsie came in through the original doors, and then just on the ground, this white hat and a black hat. It's literally like, I don't know what the symbolism is there, what the point they're trying to make, but they're just like, remember, it used to be about good versus evil, not anymore.
That was a good scene.
I like that.
I kind of want to know, this is kind of random and off topic, but like, were the koi fish real? Or were they like made?
I mean, at this point, anything in the park, I think, regardless if
Everything
it's animals or regular hosts, are all made by Delos. Specifically because, like, the horses and
Buffalo.
Like, all of them we saw them in the labs being created. So I don't see
and
any
if they
reason.
could expand the life of a fish so that they don't have to keep buying koi fish.
Oh yeah, they don't have to feed it and everything.
Yeah. It doesn't make sense of why they would use real fish.
And then there's less things they have to ship to the park if they can make everything themselves.
That's true.
Although they have to make whatever raw materials they need to make these things, they'd have to ship that to the park.
Where the hell do they get the alcohol? There's so much alcohol in this park.
There are a lot of farms in the park.
Yeah, they can make it. They had like
So they just
vineyards for wine.
So they just have hosts that literally, it's like you can visit a barn or something.
Moonshine maker.
A moonshine maker, I guess.
I mean, yeah, exactly. Why not?
Also visually, if I see this goddamn can one more time in this frickin' series, I'm going to yell. I'm tired of it!
We're going to see it at least 2 more. I'm only going to bet 2 more times.
Series finale's definitely got that can in it.
Series finale, you're going to see that can at least in every scene.
That's Arnold's consciousness.
Now that I think about it, it is a white can. They need to show the can in black.
The can in black?
So which right now is your favorite storyline? Because Paracetamol said that Bernard and Elsie's story is her fave. Because she thinks Bernard is great.
I'm sorry, but Mary Poopins also commented that Elsie has not taken a shower since season 1.
Her
She
hair
looks
looks
far
too
too clean.
She
That's
has
the daughter,
that
right?
dry shampoo.
No.
Elsie's with Bernard.
Oh. Yeah, huh.
I still think my favorite storyline is Maeve.
She could have taken a shower inside the headquarters.
And kept the same clothes? I don't know about that. Maeve might be my favorite storyline. I was all about Musashi, and then he got the 2-episode treatment and was shown the door.
See, Maeve for me is interesting because she knows what she is and she knows everything that's going on, but she still hung on to that daughter. Right?
Yes.
Even though she knew she has hung on to the idea of going to see her daughter this whole time, even though like you know what's going on, you know you don't actually have a daughter.
Mm-hmm.
So why did she hang on like that?
But feelings.
It's almost like...
But feelings.
She's also a little cold-hearted and like, Ghost Nation, run! There's your fake mom! Screw her.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Actually just kidnapped a little girl at the end of it.
I feel like Maeve's expression when she saw the other mom was like, this bitch. What the fuck? Oh, hell no.
Yeah, that was a definite, like, this, like, eyebrow raise, just change of mood, just like...
And I was like, Maeve, don't kill her. You're going to traumatize your daughter forever. I think Maeve is, like, the most human at this point. It's almost like when you have, like, family that's not really, like, blood-related, you know, but you still consider them your family.
Mm-hmm.
You know, like, that's, like, her relationship with her daughter. Like, obviously, there's something there.
I think my favorite storyline is it's a storyline that I hated originally, but now I like it. Teddy.
Because he's a ruthless
Because
badass.
it's this. I want to see what's going to happen between his dynamic with Dolores.
Does that mean the sex is rougher?
Oh, that would explain my new name for him. Steady Teddy.
Steady, steady.
I like how that's where your mind goes. It's like, it's not that he's going to kill more. It's not that he's going to backstab.
So
it's
you're
the fact
saying
that
that
he's
he was
going
too
to...
soft before, now he's a lot harder.
Well, you saw that scene, like, before. Oh, my God. Wow. Shut it down. I'm done.
I don't think that's what Steady wants.
Wow. I don't even know what to comment after that.
I do like the Emily character as well. If she is a host, at least we know that she's a host.
But, okay.
At least we know that she's a host that can shoot.
Yes. She's amazing.
She's just
really
like, bang,
good.
bang, bang. All right, we're good. What's next? Dad, you're an idiot. Let's go.
I don't understand the Man in Black's plan to just desert her. It's like she found you once.
I think he's still hung up on me. This is not my daughter.
Yeah.
Interesting.
It's
I don't know how I feel
under-
about that.
Like every step of the way, Ford's been messing with him. And all of a sudden his daughter shows up and he's just like, this guy.
Because also, remember in the first that episode at Westworld, she shoots that guy and it doesn't kill him. And hosts can't kill humans.
Well, he was a host.
No.
No, the guy that
No.
she slept with.
The guy that
Yeah.
she, yeah.
But was that pre or post revolution?
That was
It
pre-revolution.
has to be pre-revolution. But that's like a little bit of, that's something that can suggest that she might be a host. Because I know the bullets don't affect
I see what you're saying.
humans themselves, but is there human to human violence that can happen?
I don't think they allowed the humans to kill each other either. I think the guns just in general were set to be like paintball guns.
Those are fucking smart-ass guns.
Except for now.
Dun dun.
Oh, man, yeah. Yeah, my mind is blown right now.
I don't have any crazy theories for the week. The only theory that I had, I was thinking about this weekend, and it has to do with the name of the show. And especially now that we know that there are 6 parks, and Westworld is only one of them, maybe the name Westworld is about something bigger than just a park. And maybe it's like the ultimate goal of the hosts to get to a world outside of the park, to get to the world of the West.
Yeah. I'm
Especially if it's all in the East.
Going back to what we were talking about at the beginning of this, where is this? I think it's in still just a huge island in Southeast Asia.
I think it's Australia.
Oh, Comrade Joe says hi.
Hi.
Hey, what's going on? You have
Hey,
any
Joe.
theories for us?
Welcome.
But yeah, it's interesting because there's a lot of different angles at how AI is being like approached in this. You got Delos, which is kind of like the monetization of it, and then you've got Ford versus Arnold. Because I'm going off of that Bernard is Arnold, in that it's kind of a Ford versus Arnold battle within Westworld, but then it's also Delos versus those two guys, because Ford and Bernard are kind of trying to evolve humans, I think, and so one of them, I think Ford is was trying to reach immortality, and Bernard was just trying to create the best AI ever.
Oh my god!
Really?
Whoa! That's oh my god!
Do we need to get you a bib?
Sure. Oh my god!
He has a drinking problem.
Oh my god!
Did you wet your pants?
Oh my god!
Yeah.
Oh my
Show
god!
the camera.
I'm not
They
showing
wanna
the camera
see.
my pants.
Oh my god!
Oh, gummy bears.
Gummy bears.
I
You were making
drank
a good
from the
point.
wrong side of the beaker.
Wow. Lucas is making a really good point.
I thought that you were making a good point. Continue.
Yes, continue your point.
Oh man.
Ford versus Bernard.
And so Delos has just been trying to, they're data mining, and I guess Peter Abernathy's holding all of that stuff that Delos was extracting, all that client info.
So it's using Peter Abernathy is leverage. Or
Is their external hard drive for all the data mining.
Okay.
And I think what this show is ultimately going to be is about the AI, the good AI, breaking out into the real world, the world west of this park.
West of Westworld?
Yes, Jazz.
Okay.
4 episodes left. Anybody have any ideas for next week, or do you have another theory for this week?
Well, I think next week we're going to see what happens to Bernard and if Bernard is Teddy.
I don't think they're gonna expand on that next week.
You don't think so?
Because at this point, Bernard could be Ford, Teddy, Dolores, or Bernard.
Huh.
Or Arnold.
Or
So-
Arnold.
Okay. Damn. All right. So we have 4 episodes
Or the
left.
new Irish guy who we don't see in the body post this episode.
Coughlin.
Or a new character that we don't know about.
Or Emily.
Ugh.
Or Walt. Oh wait, wrong show.
Oh. You're dumb.
Yeah, I think the show is now like the gas pedal's on the floor right now, and I don't think they're going to let up for these next 4 episodes. The fact that all the storylines were in one episode again, where we've stopped the alternating episode thing, where they're only picking 1 or 2 storylines to follow per episode's done. So I think the next 4 are just going to be bam, 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 bam.
Unless they go to a screeching halt next episode. Sorry to interrupt you.
No, go ahead.
Screeching halt next episode and do like now let's show everything that happened from Ford's point of view up until this point.
No, fuck that. I hate those episodes. I could care
whole
less
flashback
about those
episode.
episodes. That is just a waste of my time episode.
Yeah, what do they call those kinds of like a
Episodes?
submarine episode where they don't leave one, like Ford's just locked in this room for like a whole hour.
Oh, I know what you're talking about.
I stopped watching that one Marvel show on Hulu because of that. I digress.
What, the Runaways?
Yeah.
Wait,
Sorry.
we're not talking about ourselves right now.
Sorry. But I kind of want to know, because we still have to go back to where Gloria is, right? Or where that terraform machines were. Like, there's something in that area that everyone's trying to get to, but Dolores, unfortunately, had to take a detour to try and save her father. So hopefully they're going to, like, try and...
But a lot of the characters are at the Mesa right now, so they can combine some storylines. 'Cause you even saw, like, Bernard and Elsie walking, and then you saw some QA guys, like, running below them. And just like, all these people are right next to each other. Just meet up already, form a big group like Maeve's giant group.
And the
What-
timelines are syncing.
What does Dolores have in mind when she gets her father, who's all messed up in the head? What does she think is gonna happen?
Well, she got to de-nail him.
Well, okay. Out of context, that sounds bad, but okay. once that happens, how does she expect to fix him?
I don't even care.
She knows he's fucked up in the head.
She'll probably try to get like some engineer hostage, like fix him. You know.
Yeah, they killed that one.
I mean, that could be a way.
Yeah, because she treats engineers real well. That guy did nothing wrong, did nothing but help her. Then it was like, sorry, man, you get to sit in the train. They didn't even need him to drive the train. It was just like, screw you.
Hey, what's going on, Tail Texan?
Oh, did we?
Tail Texan, nice.
Hey.
Okay, and
Tall Texan. Do not let Carlo read things anymore. Tall Texan.
Okay, fine. Tall Texan, sorry. But, okay, and number 2 is the fact that even after... Do you think she will get her father back?
Somebody's got to get Peter Abernathy at this point. We know it's not Delos because they're still looking for Peter 11 days later.
Yeah.
So, who ends up with her?
I'm curious about one good place that she may get it in her head that he could be fixed is maybe in the cradle.
That's what I was thinking. Because Dolores seems to lead on that she knows a lot more than everyone else. So, like, what if he's already there? She brings him to the cradle and uploads his consciousness there.
Or maybe Bernard comes out of the cradle. It's like, Ford was in there. And then Dolores walks in and is like, what? And then she goes in there with Peter Abernathy.
Oh, my God. Yeah, they can do a lot.
But how many people can go in at once? And she'd have to have her head sawed open and everything. Because Elsie talked about how she'd have to go and fix Bernard's head.
Yeah.
Because he wasn't like...
Well, we only saw
cradle.
one extraction point in that room. Now, there might be some off camera somewhere on the back of that room, but as far as we're aware, there's only one extraction point.
Well, that's how it works on these shows. If the plot demands it, they'll show the other side of the room that's got 7 of them set up so more people can go in.
Or multiple rooms, be like, you're just in extraction room 1 out of like 800.
Okay.
Yeah, I don't know. Do you think we're going to see robot babies?
I don't think we're going to see any robot babies this season.
All right.
Are you good?
Maybe within the cradle.
Oh, interesting. What?
That's a pun, but it's also a real thing.
Yeah. I kind of semi high five you for that.
In the Matrix, there was robot babies because they were digital, not physical.
You guys bringing up the Matrix this time? It's not me.
You could go. We could make a whole other show just talking about
Robot
Westworld.
baby.
No, Westworld logistics.
Oh, yeah.
Would you guys like to see that? Alright, I think that should be it. Unless you guys have any other topics to talk about this week.
I have nothing.
No?
No.
Way to contribute after your week off.
Well, shut up. Shut up. You guys missed me.
That's
On
okay.
that note, my name is Carlo.
Lucas.
Jasmine.
I'm Nick.
Don't forget to please like, comment, and subscribe. We'd like to hear your thoughts on next week's episode. Don't forget to tune in this Sunday.
Yeah, this coming Sunday we'll be back around what time we normally on? 10? 10 or so?
10-ish, because I get off of work.
Yeah. We'd be on earlier, but for jazz. Also, if you have other shows you'd like to see us review, comment. It's easier if you comment on our YouTube because it saves those comments easier because they're below the video. But let us know what other shows you'd like to see us review. We'd love to come back and do more of this. Other than that, we'll see you next week, right?
Yep.
Yep.
Have a good
Have
night,
a good night,
guys.
guys.